Hello, everybody, and welcome to another one of the CAS Virtual Showcase sessions. My name is John Chibnall. I'm the CAS Outreach Manager for the Northwest, and I have with me this afternoon Donna Rawling, and I'm going to go over to Donna shortly. Now, I must say we've done a little bit of tech trickery to get things working for this broadcast this afternoon, as unfortunately GoToWebinar would not play ball with Donna's school setup, school Wi-Fi setup, where you are based at the moment, where we're beaming into your school. So we are actually going through Google Meet through GoToWebinar. So it's a bit like, what was that film? Was it Inception, with a dream within a dream? Yeah. So we think we've got everything going so that you can see and hear us okay, but I will be monitoring via another iPad what you're seeing, and but yeah, we've got both fingers crossed. So as I said, this is a session by Donna, who's going to be talking to you about strategies for developing resilient learners in computing. If you've got any questions as you go through, please do pop them in the chat box, and I will be monitoring that. And I will either pass questions to Donna as we go, or we will have a bit of a discussion with some questions at the end. There is a handout available. You can download the handout by expanding out the GoToWebinar control panel by clicking on the orange rectangle, and Donna's kindly uploaded her presentation in there. So it's in there for you to download. If you are tweeting about the sessions over the CAS Virtual Showcase, please use the hashtag CAS Virtual 20. So I think that is all I've got to say. I'm going to hand over now to Donna, who is one of our community leaders in the Northwest, running the CAS Salford primary community, and teaches computing at St Mark's C of E. And is going to give a wonderful presentation this afternoon about all of the strategies that she uses with her learners. So can I hand over to you, Donna?
You can, John. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I can't see you, but I hope you're all well. I'm not going to do the usual can you hear me, can you see my screen. We'll just head off and see where we get. So the first little slide is just a bit of information about me, little bit of background, but I teach from early years to Year 6, hands-on computing, and I think maybe the most important thing at the moment, I think with the younger learners, is with the advent of more touch screens, etc. The key IT skills are missing, and they're the things that are quite daunting for the children to use and learn. I'm going to show you a short video clip first of all, and then just discuss some of the tips and tricks I've used with my learners to try and encourage them to be resilient, self-sufficient. I just need to toggle quite a few tabs, sorry, and then we're there. So just a little video to start with.
So Donna, I think the video tab is closed now, actually. So I don't know if you're coming back to your presentation.
I'm back to you. Yeah, sorry, it's just taking a while to load.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
I think that came that came through okay. It was a bit kind of jottery at our end. So, but I think we kind of got the feel of it, definitely.
So we'll skip the other videos then, that's fine. I can make reference to them, there's no problem. So basically it was just encouraging resilience, but I would show the children that film and ask them for their comments, and hopefully they would discuss People Didn't Give Up. But there's also quite a nice element to the repurposing and the maker-ed side of things that you can refer to. The blueprint there wasn't used as a blueprint in the end, it was repurposed and helped them achieve a goal, which is quite a nice thing. A little video that's in your slides, but I'm obviously not going to play it now, is aimed at getting people to understand a little bit about the background of autism, but basically explaining that everybody's different, we're all unique, different people think in different ways and behave in different ways. That's on the slides. And then I like the children to look at an actual map of the brain. So I have little brain caps like these that we've made, like a 3D laminated, that I would get the children to look at and explore, that have different areas of the brain and explain which areas of the brain do which things, are in control of which things, and start to discuss that. Although they might think that they're not as smart as the computer, the main difference between their brain and a computer in the early stages will be that the computer gets a result a lot quicker, but in terms of needing human help to help it run in most cases, they are totally in charge, and they're doing lots of amazing things all the time. They're talking and walking and thinking and moving all at the same time. So it's quite a nice one just to get them to start thinking about not being worried about approaching things, and using lots of little self-help skills. There's also a little video in here on a link again about why Fail to Learn is really good. Video I've taken from the Idea Badges scheme, which explains that you're creating extra neuron pathways or reinforcing pathways once you try and don't give up. Whereas if you don't try at all, then obviously you're not going to get very far. I also have quite a lot of physical props in my computer suite. For a light bulb, for when children get a light bulb moment. So we had that hung up, and the children get to fill in a little tab and then add it to the light bulb, and then I would turn the lights off in the computer suite, and they get to actually just pop the light on for a moment and get a little tag or certificate to say that they've had a light bulb moment, maybe when they've been debugging or doing some other computational thinking work. And then again, looking at some of the learners, their brains maybe don't work in a totally mathematical way. They might find a maths lesson hard, but I find that some of the problem solving skills of some of the children are amazing. I would give them some of these little lesson starters. Okay, so looking at lots of lateral thinking. There we go, just give you maybe 10 seconds or so to have a look at that one. I don't know whether, John, anybody's giving any feedback on the chat about.
Yes, so we can certainly ask them too. If you can work out this brain teaser, then they can put that into the answers can come through in the questions box. They can fill it in.
Okay. So the first one, if anybody wants to have a go at, if not, I will skip to the next one.
We've got a few people.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me tell you what we've got coming through. VI. Right, these are the responses. I can't say names though. I've got to remember not to do that.
Okay.
A couple of people have put VI. Somebody has put V exclamation mark, but I think they mean to have put VI. Take away INTE. Are they right?
That's right. Take away the INTE, because VI is obviously 6 in Roman numerals. So obviously that wouldn't work. Yeah, until you've addressed sort of Roman numerals. I think it's year 3 going into year 4. So obviously some of these, there we go. We'll go on for the next one. What starts with an E ends with an E usually only contains 1 letter.
Right, here we go. Let me just clear out the other answers, and we're
okay.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll tell you. So, okay. Oh, okay. Someone's very quick there. I can't say. I wish I could say your name to give you some praise for being so quick there. But we've got lots of people saying envelope. Is it envelope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. It is an envelope. Okay, let's just go to.
Sorry, can I just say, Donna, as well, because I'm saying I can't use people's names. A few people are saying, yeah, you can use mine. It's fine. Just to let you know, I was supposed to say at the beginning, all of these are being recorded, which is why we're not going to use names. So just to let everybody know that's watching, in the near future, there's going to be recordings of all of the sessions from CAS Virtual Showcase coming out. Anyway, there we go. Sorry, I'll let you carry on.
Okay. Now, the next slide, just an amazing example of how your brain actually processes and converts information so it can make sense of it. And if you can read from beginning to end, it actually explains what your brain's doing within the information on the screen. That's quite a nice one. The children are really amazed by the fact that they can just read that, because it looks like gobbledygook to start with.
Looks like my spelling, that does actually.
Okay, so and then the next one, probably just the last one we'll do. So everybody would like to guess which glass we can move.
Which glass you can move so they alternate?
Yeah, see, half full, empty, full, empty.
Okay, I think I've got this one. Let's see if anyone. Oh, here they come. Pick up the second one and pour it into the fifth.
Yeah, perfect.
Well done to those people.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
So I'm just going to skip through these slides, and I think I might just need to go back onto another screen if you just bear with me one second, because we're doing a lot of jiggery pokery at the moment. Okay, so once we've done sort of those skills and shown the children how amazing they are, I would start to work on the IT skills again, because they used to touch screens, etc. We would do lots of typing games. The games are listed on the slides. But BBC Dance Mat, which has the most annoying goat voice ever. I would suggest you use headphones with that, but the children love it. That doesn't store progress, but the other game listed on there, the Typing Club, gives you a teacher dashboard, and you can provision children onto them. There's lots of little reward levels, badges on board, etc. I would also encourage the children, I have covered up my trackpad and put a little reminder on. I've put mice on all the computers, a little reminder that if they right click, they'll get a menu with a right click on the mouse, and a left click, they'll be able to select their menu choice. It's quite a useful one. And then for amazing typing skills, I have Magic Mouse, which my children have used in the Maker Club. They've decorated the mouse, fully working, little reward tag that goes with it, and I would look for people using the mouse really well, and they would get one of these to use in a subsequent lesson. Cool keyboard I have somewhere. A keyboard, similar idea. They can use a keyboard that they'll plug into their laptop for the session. Probably doesn't enhance the typing skills while they're using the additional keyboard, but again, it just makes them nice and happy that they've got something to use. Resilience or self-help skills. Also, when you're in a room with 30 children and you're probably the only adult and they can't log on and they can't get to the program they want, I do stepping stone cards as well. So before the children go to the computer, we would discuss which steps they're going to take to get onto a specific program. And as they tell me or suggest the steps, I would place them down like stepping stones on an area where the children can then go back to them and refer and help themselves. So they wouldn't need to put their hand up. They could go and check the stepping stones and make sure they follow the steps on there. And also they would use the 3 before me, right click the mouse, ask a partner, ask a neighbour, and then if they were struggling, they would ask for help, which frees you up to help those who maybe can't type their name in properly or log in very well. When we go on to subsequent skills, we look at coding. I suggest that Code Studio starts with basic mouse control games and then goes on to very basic code, and it goes right through then to probably into high school. We have Eagle Eye Glasses Awards. So the children would, if they were debugging code really well or tracing code, tracking code very well, they would get to put on a pair of Eagle Eye glasses. I have probably 20 pairs of glasses they can choose from. Doesn't enhance their skills the week after a game, but it makes them quite happy. I'm trying to think. Oh, and then also I would maybe get the children to write an algorithm, maybe of the steps they would take to get to the computer screen, and we would use the words input and output. My year ones now, I'll ask them, have they used an input today, what they use, and they'll put their hand up and say, I used letter A on my keyboard, and I'll ask them what the output was or what happened, and they will tell me the computer ran the algorithm and I got an A or an at on my screen. So using that language all the time, so it's familiar and they're comfortable with it. If they use words like split digraph in phonics, they can definitely cope with debugging and decomposition and all those other terms that we're trying to encourage through sort of barefoot computing and various other mediums. We've gone through that. Okay.
Donna,
and then the last thing.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I just got a couple of questions that are coming through. This one's kind of more of a comment, but I think it's similar to something you've just gone over with your slides about having steps before they get to the teacher, and I quite like the acronym of this one. It's SNOT. Have you heard of this one?
Yeah,
SNOT.
Yeah, it's a great one. The children will love that as well, won't they?
Yeah, do you use SNOT in your teaching?
I try not to, but yeah. Yeah,
so for those of you that aren't familiar, it's self, neighbour, other neighbour, and then teacher as kind of, yeah.
That's
cool.
a brilliant acronym. Okay, going on from the typing as well, most of our children are obviously not at the moment because of the current conditions. We would be having one computer between two, so I would do paired programming and also paired typing. So one child will be the left hand, one will be the right hand, and they would have to play the typing game working in conjunction and then swap over. Have a little game where I would go around with a whiteboard pen, obviously making sure none of them are allergic first of all, and it's the 3 dots in your out game. So if I see them crossing their hands over the keyboard, or they're leaning on the hand and typing and not really concentrating, or they're not using all their fingers, they get a dot on the back of their hand, 3 dots, so they have to sit on the carpet for a minute and their partner gets to increase the score on their computer. So that's quite a nice one to play as well. And then I was just going to show a clip of our space, but I don't think the video is going to show very well. On the pinned tweet on my Twitter feed, which is on the slides, there's just a quick video of my overcrowded suite with all the little bits in place.
Shall we give it a go, Donna? Because it'll be. I think it's worth, even if it comes through any sound a bit juttery, people can still see your environment, which would be really great.
Okay, like just put it with me a second then. I'll just cue it up first and then sorry. Just trying to work out which side I'm on. Let me try that. It might just play straight from there. I'm not sure whether an onward tab will show on your screen. You have to tell me.
Yeah, we're not seeing a video.
You're not? Okay, that's fine. I've got it up as a tab, so I'll just go back and find the sharing screen again and we'll do it that way.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all right. Let's stop that one. Start it again. And that one is, I think it's that one there, hopefully. There we go.
This is looking good, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we have a maker area, glue guns, saws, the children can just get stuck in and make things. Large keyboard on the wall there, you can see the foam keyboard letters. We'll have challenges about who can make the keyboard up the quickest, like little jigsaw pieces. Light bulbs there hanging from the ceiling, and then this is just an example of some paper circuitry. There's posters to inspire the children for role models. Lots of reminders, even what left hand and right hand are. Those red and green things, splats you can see. Which is the left hand and which is the right hand, and how they can tell the difference, which sounds simple, but it does obviously still, some children struggle with that side of things. Examples of the work the children have done. Glue guns, we've gone round twice now, haven't we? So I will clear that tab out of the way. And then, John, if you tell me what you can see now, because I'm going to toggle again.
We can see you at the moment, and that was quite, just to say, that came through nice and clear, actually, seeing your room, which is really nice because it's a fantastic learning space that you've got there.
Thank you. So that, I think, is covering the basics. Obviously, there's the other thing we do quite often, once we've made the algorithm to walk from a classroom to the computer suite, I've got a red flag. Sorry, I've not got a red flag. I've got a green flag and a red dot. I would put somebody at the head of the line, somebody at the back of the line. We discuss the algorithm we're going to run to get to the room. We would discuss what the input would be, and in this case, we're using a green flag, so somebody would hold the green flag up. We also use the red dot. So if the children start to walk and follow an algorithm and it gets too noisy, the person at the front of the line is going to control and stop that algorithm running by showing them the red dot. We would discuss why it wasn't right, what was wrong with the output. It leads very nicely into when the children start to use Scratch and they're using like an input to start a program running and stop a program running. That's already embedded as well. And then I also use, which I wasn't going to show you, but I probably will do, we do a quick hand drive. So we would have a standard hand drive that the children would do, which was a set of hand movements, slapping the knees, clapping, doing all this. Well, then they would add the steps that they're going to use that day in the suite. So they would go to the window, the start key, they would click on letter A, they click on I for internet, they would use an input, they would run the algorithm, there would be an output, and we'd put those steps together, and then each time we use a different program, we would add some elements, some action in that represents what activity we've done that day, and we build that hand drive up as a reinforcement before they get to the computers as well. That works quite well. I've also brainwashed them to remember input algorithm output. Now, if I do that, they all start chanting it, but it goes in and it works really well.
Brilliant.
Okay. I think that's probably everything.
Sue, thank you so much. So what I'm going to say is, I've got a few questions that have come through. As I'm going to put those to you, and if anybody else has got any questions, pop them in the question box now. Okay, so first of all, please could you show us those hand moves slowly, Donna?
Okay, I'm sat down, so the standard would be to pat your knees. Is this just to have a laugh?
No, I think people really like the idea.
Pat your knees, clap. That way, then that way. Then my input would be this. The algorithm would be output. We use our mouse, we debug, we throw away the rubbish code in the bin, we do all those actions for it. When they log on, they have a secret picture for Code Studio. I would get them to pose what their picture was, so they do a monster or something to me, so then it would reinforce them what picture they were looking for when they logged in.
It's a really powerful way, I think, that of reinforcing the language. I've done it. In fact, I haven't done it so much. I need to do it more in computing. I've done it a lot in science, and I still get children that have left, have gone beyond year 6 now, coming back and making the actions for like incisors for teeth and stuff. It's a really nice idea. Yeah, lots of people saying love that idea. Someone asked as well about where did you get those brain hats from?
I will try and find you the link. Literally just downloaded them. There's ones that the children can colour, and there's ones that are pre-coloured like these, and then literally just moulded them into like a semi 3D, and I would go and pop them on children's heads while they're working and say, oh, look at this, we're really thinking now. And I'd have 6 hung up, and I would routinely just pop them on children's heads while they're working. But as a starter, they would sit in groups and really examine that, the pathways, etc. on there. But they were just a free download. But say there's a coloured in version, and there's also a colouring version as well. So I will find the link for you.
Yeah, so kind of along those lines, a couple of people have asked, so you've provided the handout, which is your presentation. Is there any chance of any of the sort of other resources that are the links to those kind of resources in that PowerPoint? Is that where people can find things?
Yeah, the only thing, well, I'll put the link. I'll try and get a link in for the brain hats, and also I have got a link to the brain teasers, the little problem-solving ones. I can get that in there as well. That's fine. I just pasted a few. There's about 30 or 40 activities in there.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. I just think people love the ideas and want to pinch them off you, basically, Donna, and go and use them.
Fine. The only other one I haven't put in there, and if anybody's tried it before, is Google Quick Draw, which is, and you told the children so far that their brain is better than a computer, and a computer can't work without you programming it. But then you start look at the machine learning. You could then extend that, and it will recognise the children's drawings on screen. It gives them a challenge to say draw a banana. When they draw a curved line, it would guess it's a croissant, it's a boomerang, and it would use information it's had before from previous drawings and build up and try and guess it before the children's time runs out on their drawing.
That's very cool.
That's quite a nice one as a starter.
Is that one of the Google AI experiments that they have? I think if you Google AI experiments, does it come up?
Right. Yeah, Google Quick Draw comes up as a separate. That was courtesy of Carl Simmons originally, who suggested that that was a nice one to try, and I have used it. The children absolutely love doing that, jumping on and off, and also you're using mouse control while you're drawing.
Yeah. It's targeting those skills as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm just going to see if we've got lots of people saying thank you so much. Really interesting session with lots of brilliant ideas.
Oh, thank you.
Someone who you know well just has said how fab each of your ideas are in turn from which I totally agree. And I'm really pleased that we got that video going showing your suite, because I've been over to your learning space there, and it is fab. I think it's all of these little things that you put in place are kind of greater than the sum of all their parts. They help the learners so much. It's really cool. So yeah, no more questions, but just lots of thanks. And
thank you.
So thank you. And I must say as well, Donna definitely practices what she preaches, because the resilience that's been required to negotiate the technology to get today's session happening has been quite phenomenal. So thank you very much. I'm going to say we'll wrap things up. So shortly, I'm going to finish the GoToWebinar. To everyone that's watching, you will get a evaluation form up here. Please do take a moment to fill that in, because that data is really helpful for us as CAS to refine things in the future and hear what it is that you've enjoyed. And where are we on Thursday? We've still got another day, half a day of sessions today, and another day of sessions tomorrow. So I hope to see you in some more of those. So thank you again, Donna. And
yes, thanks so much everyone for attending.
Yeah, and I will finish that there.
Okay.
But you